Meyer David here. My story continues. By the time I landed in New York with Phlebos of the Nile safely in my carry-on luggage, Rome seemed very far away, and I had the skeleton of my thesis in place. Remembering the feminist Gloria Sternum, or whatever her name was, had been the key. Women were objectified when they danced for men, to be therefore desired only from a distance. Anything closer was dangerous for the hero. A strong, seductive woman could challenge his power and dominion. I would tie this idea to the classic old silent film trope of the damsel in distress, who is totally passive when saved by the hero and therefore safe because she is non-seductive, without the power or the desire to weaken. So I returned to the academic life I had grown to love, and 2 years passed. I was proving to myself all the more that I had the mark of the scholar. I paid my tuitions and lived frugally off what little I had saved for my career in the pictures. Studied diligently in my carrel in the library, got books and periodicals from across the nation. I immersed myself in studying Italian.
Do you speak English? Parla l'inglese? Does anyone here speak English?
Went back to Rome to visit Cinecittà 3 more times to search other back rooms. I came away with many choice items. More footage from Phlebos of the Nile, plus I got a line on a very old man who'd been involved in the casting of Troy Endicott. He could barely speak, even Italian. I needed an interpreter and a whole lot of time, but I came away from the interview well satisfied. Troy had been the candidate of choice as soon as the director and casting folks had seen him. He was their Phlebos, never a question about it.
How strange women are.
To get a doctorate, you have to defend your thesis orally in front of a committee. That may be the hardest thing a graduate student ever has to do, and I wondered how it would go for me. I knew the jargon, of course, and I could deliver it like the actor that I was. But what if they asked me about real seductive behavior by women? Or how seduction manifests itself in other kinds of dancing as portrayed in the cinema? Gradually, I started to sense a parallel between Phlebos' life and my own, as I fought my way toward my doctorate to claim my place in my beloved academic world. I began to sense my own power.
Each day, your thoughts become more and more positive. You know what you want. Your possibilities in life are endless.
I was a warrior just like him, fighting for what was owed me. And so the day came. I appeared before the committee and I fell squarely on my ass. They tore me to shreds. It wasn't fair, not with all the work I had put in. And then I had a call from my advisor to summarize all their bullshit.
Mr. David, your thesis, to put it frankly, is antithesis. There's no there, just sophomoric opinions about the relative merits of the sexes, as if there's any question about that anymore. And you justifying those alleged merits with your toga film? You've wasted a lot of our time, and with all due respect, Mr. David, you might consider going into therapy. Because you have a very twisted view of women. I have nothing further to say to you.
Well, I knew better. I wasn't about to stick around this shithouse university that didn't respect my intellectual heft. I would take myself to where I would be valued for my intellect.